Hello and welcome to any fellow posers and visiting real metalheads who may have stumbled across this channel. I am your host, The Average Poser, and what I like to do here is educate myself on the delightful assortment of underground bands and hopefully become a little bit less of a poser, and maybe you will become less of a poser along this journey as well. This video marks Bmonday number 8. Do you get it? Instead of Metal Monday, I put a B in front of Monday to make it Bmonday. And since this is Bmonday number 8, we're going to be discussing something that is kind of in the shape of an 8, and that would be coffins. Penny coffins, in fact. These fancy Halloween boxes have been a favorite among gardening enthusiasts for decades, but do they have any practical applications apart from gardening? And if they do, would you want to pay for the version that only costs a penny? These are questions that I can only assume will be answered for us in death metal group Penny Coffin's release entitled, Togepi Sex Party? I'm sorry, this is so unprofessional of me. Siri, download Duolingo from the App Store. A penny coffin, according to the ever-infallible Wikipedia, is short for four-penny coffin. This was a type of homeless shelter that was operated by the militant wing of the Salvation Army in central London. That's here! For only 4 British Lincoln pennies, a homeless individual was granted food, shelter, and a small coffin-shaped box to sleep in. Because apparently, if you were homeless in Victorian times, and your greatest fear was being buried alive, well then fuck you. But more importantly, here's me with a small coffin full of pennies. Yes, this was the whole point of this entire video. The literal coffin full of pennies bit. I had this coffin, I had some pennies, I did what I had to do. And now it's done, now we can put it away. The tracks on this tantalizing tidbit of death metal are as follows: Smog, Bootlicker, Confinement, Jaws, Skeletal Darkness, and Finality. And if you would like to know what these songs are about, you can track down their article on Grinding Horror Zine, or you could listen to them. Alternatively, if you're a fan of really bad improv, here's my interpretation of the songs without having read the lyrics. Smog is a double entendre which both condemns the state of the sky in London, but also celebrates Napoleon's defeat of the dragon Smog at the Battle of Endor during the Cold War. For just as the dragon's breath brought the smoke, so too do the smokestacks. I think. Siri, ask Duolingo what smokestacks do in Swedish. For those who were renting a penny coffin, a mere 5 cents extra would afford you the work of an adorable street urchin, doomed to die of cholera, who would remove smog from your penny coffin with only a bike pump and some elbow grease, just like Grandma used to do. Bootlicker is a riveting tribute to Samson the Wayward Beagle, a legendary mascot said to have been a real living dog that was found dead in the River Thames a week before the story was made up about him. And in that story, Samson was present during the opening of the very first penny coffin facility. He was said to have run up and down the aisles licking both the bare feet and the boots of greasy sailors who were doomed to die of cholera. But after a lengthy 48-hour session of bootlicking, Samson was tragically gunned down by cholera and then bludgeoned to death again by the boot of Sir Francois von Cunningbadger. Was it foul play? No, Samson was not a bird. And Francois ordered Samson to be thrown in the river. The moral of the story is fuck the police, probably, and that includes large bodies of water. Confinement is about being confined in a coffin, probably. Jaws is about being confined in Jaws, probably. Skeletal Darkness is about being confined in a skeleton with jaws, and then that skeleton's penny coffin is taken away and you are left only with skeletal remains, which is the name of another death metal group which I also assume enjoys talking about Jaws. But where does the empty coffin go? Krampus's twin brother, Anthony Jeselnik, is traditionally the creature said to collect the small coffin boxes the day after Christmas, hence Boxing Day, a tradition that is still celebrated by children all across the US Rust Belt. And finally, the final song, Finality, finally finishes up with a celebration of the fine Finnish finangling holiday of bucket gazing, a holiday in which Swedish people will feed the rich to their dogs to celebrate Samson's reincarnation as a giant shark that would end the life of Sir Francois von Cunningbadger in 2007. Well, that about does it for Bmonday number 8. If you haven't already, be sure to pull out your rotary phone and follow Penny Coffin on the Bandcamp, the Spotify, and the etc. Otherwise, you are wrong, so go do. And for a rating, we will of course be giving Penny Coffin our highest and only rating here at The Average Poser, a solid dime out of 10. Yeah. I know this was a bit of a short one, but that's what I'm going back to. I liked the short videos. So Bmonday is going to go back to being short, at least for 1 or 2 episodes. And tune in next time when I attempt to eat all of the pennies in the box without discovering some horrible, horrible copper allergy. Poser over.